Hey, what's going on, Cashflow Hackers? It's Chris with Life 180. I am here with Debbie Merrick with DM Business Advisors. Now, if she looks familiar, it's because this is not her first time here. We came on, when were we on?
Last June.
It was last June, so it's been over a year. About a year and whatever, a couple months ago. 14 months ago, Debbie came on. It was the beginning, or kind of like near the beginning of the kind of ERTC craze.
Yeah,
that kind of
where
happened.
they were actually sending people checks, because before that they were just giving credit. So
I think it made it real at that point in time,
Yeah.
people, right? Like, as people were starting to get paid, and of course, as soon as government programs start sending out money, it becomes real, and then everybody's like, how do I get me some of that?
And you guys have done a great job referring people to us, and we really are grateful to that.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great program, right? Like, so it's one of those things for me. I looked at it, it just was a no-brainer. Like, the program is a government-sponsored program, giving money away basically to business owners as a way to compensate them for challenges that were caused by the pandemic. Fair enough? I mean,
because some people had challenges and they still made more money. So that's the thing, that there's still some controversy out there with CPAs that, you know, they don't think that some of the people that didn't necessarily get shut down or completely restricted would qualify, but there are some parameters around the supply chains. So it's just great to get somebody that really knows the tax code with this, because we've had quite a few clients that have come to us and they said, well, my CPA didn't think that I qualified, and they looked at some things on the internet and they just weren't sure. And in our case, we have been working with enrolled agents, which are licensed IRS CPAs that have additional specialty tax experience. You know, I mean, it's kind of like going to an internal medicine doctor if you have an aneurysm in your brain. Like, you really want to go see a brain surgeon.
Totally.
You know,
so you don't want a practitioner for that.
Exactly. So, you know,
exactly.
And that's the easiest way to not, because we want to work with your CPA. Like, we want everybody to be on the same page and get the maximized amount of help for you on this program.
No, it makes sense. I mean, it at the end of the day, things have changed though, right?
Yes,
like, because now, like back then, the whole conversation was like, hey, do this for your business, you know, all this stuff. A lot of people have taken advantage of that. A lot of people have gotten checks. Some people are still waiting on checks. You know, so you were telling me that the whole market has changed for the ERTC thing because the government has, I don't want to say shut it down because that's not accurate.
It's a temporary moratorium.
Okay. Temporary moratorium. Okay.
Yeah, because they were getting so many fraudulent 941Xs, because that's basically what you're submitting is that amended 941 for those up to 6 quarters.
When you say fraudulent, meaning people were just making them up?
I guess. I mean, there's people that, like, either they were making them up or the people that were helping them were not qualified to do this. So they weren't taking into consideration for the calculation. For example, you have to take into consideration the PPP loans. And if you don't take those qualified wages out, that would leave probably a lot more money on the table. So again, that's why, you know, us as advocates, I mean, I'm not a CPA myself, but I have worked with almost 400 different clients getting the documents to these enrolled agents. And that's why, you know, we have been definitely, you know, working more with your company because now that more people are getting their money and because there's actually this moratorium until January. So what our experts have said is that if you still need to submit, it's good to get all your stuff done, and that they will still get that into the IRS because the strategy is, okay, if they're going to require more documentation or whatever, at least this way it's in line.
Okay, so you put yourself in queue.
Yes,
basically.
that's what they're thinking.
Okay.
Now, if we have to resubmit it completely, they're willing to do the extra work.
Sure.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But at least this way, you'll have some peace of mind that at least you got the hard stuff done ahead of time, and then you're ready to go right when it comes. But if you have your ERTC in process at the IRS, they're saying, hey, just make sure that whoever is working with you on this is qualified first. If you are not feeling like you have a qualified person, obviously get in touch with us. There's also a way you can rescind the...
Like retract.
However you say it.
Pull it out.
Pull it out, from the IRS.
Okay.
So on the irs.gov, there is a instruction list.
Okay.
If you are concerned that maybe they did it wrong and that you might have gotten scammed.
In case you're filing a false claim or you shouldn't be in there. If you have questions about it,
and they understand that people are in this position. So they're not going to come after you, to do anything. It's just because, like I said, everybody's navigating through this. And it's been difficult, but we have had a lot of success. So,
well, it's the nature of the beast, right? Like anytime the government creates a program that's going to give away that much money, there's going to be opportunity grabbers, and there's going to be scam artists, and there's going to be fraudulent activity, and it probably exceeded the level that the government expected, so they got to rein it in and fix it. But it doesn't mean the program is not legitimate.
Correct. Because if people don't understand this, I mean, this is in the same category as the 1% strategies that the Amazons and Tesla and things use for the special. There's other specialty tax programs that the Ernst & Youngs and the Deloitte and other forensic accountants use, and that's why they were able to work with the payroll department at the IRS on the stimulus from the beginning. Because most of those programs that the 1% uses in extra programs for tax benefits, they just use the W-2 employer business model. So anything more than, 2 W-2 employees that were not the owner, spouse, and the kids, you've got some other qualified.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's cool. So all right. So right now, if you've filed and you're not sure, you can retract it. If you're totally uncertain, if you need to or if you want to, you have questions, you can reach out to Debbie, and she and her team will help guide you through that process. And then, if you haven't submitted, you can do so and kind of get in queue and get in on the wait list. But more importantly, right now, I think, there's a lot of people that are getting money, that have gotten money. A lot of people that are uncertain, hey, what do I do with this money? And are kind of curious, so let me ask you this: we'll get into what you can do with the money and all that stuff, because we got all sorts of creative ways you can do that.
Yes.
But talk to me about the audits that people are going through, and I know a lot of people are concerned, will I get audited? What are the chances? What happens if I get audited? All that kind of stuff.
Okay, so one of the new requirements, which we just found out this last week, was that the 941Xs have to be signed by the client in order to be submitted. So if the 941Xs were not signed, our clients right now, we're actually going through and making sure that all of them are getting one out to them to sign. So, but from that standpoint, and also making sure that your person is a properly licensed CPA.
Got it.
Or tax attorney.
Enrolled
Because tax
agent
attorney
or CPA?
or enrolled agent, and enrolled agents actually have a license number, and so for the people that we work with, everything is transparent. But again, like I said, if there's a question with the prepared, because it could be a phishing, a scam, and again, I mean, they are out there, and especially if some of these people are requiring money up front to do this, not always, but again, just making sure.
It's definitely an indicator, something to be cautious about.
Yeah, and the thing is for us, like we are a marketing company and consulting company, but we have full transparency. So if like you need an appointment with the enrolled agent or someone on the CPA team, we will facilitate that with you as the client and with your CPA or CFO.
Awesome.
So
easy.
And those
easy
are the
enough.
things that you should be asking. Like, can I have a meeting with, those people? Because if they're not willing to do that, obviously that would be another red flag.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I look at this is, as long as you do it the right way, it's a no-brainer because the program is there for a reason, right? The program is there to solve a problem. They're not going to create this just to create a bunch of audits, right?
No.
The audit, like a lot of people are like
No.
concerned about that and worried about like, hey, like what if I
No.
get audited? Like they don't want to audit you. Yeah, I mean, I'm not to say that there's not a chance of getting audited.
There
obviously is a chance.
There is,
but if you do it right and you work with the right people, you'll have the right backing and you'll have the support.
Because the other part of this, which I reiterate, is that it's not just about getting the money.
Yeah.
It's about having the right representation to keep your money. Because if you don't have the right people, and if you just had or you tried to do it yourself, which some people can figure it out, but if you don't know how to deal with an auditor, I don't know. I mean,
I got news for you. Even if you know how to, you probably don't want to.
Right? Exactly. So that's why, I mean, I see these letters that come through for the IRS. I don't even understand them.
Right.
And so I just send them to the enrolled agent. They're like, okay, we know what to do. We'll fax it. We'll do this.
Yep.
Great. You know.
Cool.
So, but again, it's just, do your due diligence, be smart, and don't just disqualify yourself.
So
that's the part that I
right.
always tell people. Like,
Got it.
Hey, I don't think I don't want to go through the work of doing this. It's like, no, it costs you nothing
Right.
to find out
Yep.
if you have a legitimate claim.
Yeah. No, that's good. And you guys are awesome at helping people through that. We've had a lot of clients go through and have just really positive feedback about their experience. So I would suggest if you haven't done it yet, just know there's kind of a temporary moratorium.
Yeah.
If you're still interested, time is of the essence, right? Because you can get in queue, get at the front of the line when they open it up. I don't think anybody really knows what it's going to look like when they open it back up yet.
No,
but
exactly.
It's kind of no harm, no foul. A little bit of time to go through the process. It doesn't take a ton of time, right?
Exactly.
And so get on the phone with Debbie. She will personally walk you through some stuff, connect you with the right people, go through the process, hold your hand, give you peace of mind, all that stuff.
Well, and I also will tell you from a life insurance and financial advisor perspective, this is such a cool topic to bring up because of the fact that if they haven't done it already, then you become the hero.
Oh, totally.
Because it's
no doubt.
what? Like, oh my gosh, because the average amount is about $120,000 to $150,000.
Well, we've had, how many businesses have we had get six figures or multiple six figures back just from people that we've referred, right? And so
it's amazing.
it's pretty amazing, to be able to have a situation where, if I've referred people that have been hard up on business, and just they're standing in their personal finances and business finances because of the pandemic, because of the struggles. And a couple of people have been able to get multiple six figures. And when you get multiple six figures of this, you're able to pay off your debt, you're able to be in a better position. We've had a couple of people roll that money back into policies, right? Which when you do that, that's great because they're looking, it's not like you're doing this to do a policy, but if you believe in doing a policy, if you are looking for a way to pull it off and make it happen, I'm a huge believer front-loading policies is like a really powerful strategy.
Oh, for sure.
And so when you have a big chunk of money and you can do a front load into a policy and then you can do a smaller annual premium, it's a no-brainer. And then you have liquidity of that money. It allows you to start your own banking situation. Once again, that's not personal advice saying anybody should or shouldn't do that, but I'm saying there's certain situations where that does make sense. I would say don't just go out and do it without consulting with somebody. You can call us up. We're happy to have a conversation with you, or you can go to somebody else that you trust. I don't really care, but the idea, the strategy. I mean, I do care. I'd love to help you.
Of course.
But
you just want.
But at the same time, it matters more that you just are going through and making informed, educated decisions based on, your goals and objectives and what you're trying to accomplish, and making sure that, you're utilizing the tools that are made available to you.
And also the other thing is, if you are concerned about having to pay back the money, then why not put it in such a conservative vehicle in which to protect it, so that way that if in fact you had to pay back maybe a quarter or something, and of course the IRS isn't going to just say, oh, you have to pay it all at one time, they're going to make payments or that kind of thing. But again, like, we've had people that have invested in multifamily or big projects or things because they don't want to just go blow the money and just not have the money.
I mean at the end of the day, there's nothing worse than, everybody needs to have an emergency buffer. I think that's good, but like, that's one of the things we're doing is we're launching our real estate fund. We're doing a lot of other investments, and you could do syndications, you could invest in funds, you could put it in a policy and wait and kind of keep it as an opportunity buffer, or an opportunity, I guess, account more than anything else. And it's there for you no matter what. Like, so I'm just a big believer, financial structure is more important than whatever specific asset you want to do, because when you focus on designing your life in a certain way and utilizing money as a tool to create an outcome, well, now you're set up and you're utilizing this resources tool to just expedite the process in a lot of situations. And so, when I look at this, I just say, all right, kind of a no-brainer. If you've done it, cool. Maybe you're still sitting on your money. Hopefully, if you did spend it, you did it on something productive. You didn't just go out and fix your backyard up and whatever for no reason.
I've had a few of my clients. They said, I'm doing that, or I bought my wife a ring. Or
a ring. Oh, that's...
It's like we upgraded, or we got a pool, or but
I mean, whatever. There's no harm no foul, I guess. Like,
but a lot of people are like expanding their businesses, starting another business. Actually, the best one that just blew me away. We have a client who he actually got about $250,000 for his landscaping company.
Cool.
And he's been in business for 20 years.
That's a long
and
time.
Not always do I ask people this, but I just had the opportunity to say, hey, I said, what are you going to do with the money? Like, now that you got that money. And all of a sudden he goes, oh my gosh. He's like, I'm probably going to choke up. And I said, what? And he goes, he's like, I have this employee I've had for 20 years. And he said, man, when I started the business, he said, I'm taking you with me every step of the way. And he said, man, the guy has been fighting stage 3 cancer.
Oh my gosh.
And so he's like, I'm going to give him $40,000.
Wow.
And I was just like, okay, this is why I do what I do.
That's cool.
Because, those kinds of situations where you have that extra money to be a blessing to other people. I mean, I was just, okay.
So that's a great example, right? Like, and that just goes to show this is not PPP.
You don't have to use it for your business. Correct.
It doesn't have to be for business expansion. Now, me as the financial coach goes, take it and do something productive with it, right? Like, do something that's going to help you further your life, whether you invest in real estate and it helps you get that going, whether you get a policy going, you secure your finances, whether you invest in your business expansion, whether you invest in a real estate fund or find other individual properties, whatever it is. Like, just be intentional about how you're doing. Don't just go like make emotional reactive decisions, right? And that goes for people that haven't and are sitting on it, or maybe you're is anybody even getting checks right now, or everything's on pause?
Oh, for sure.
People, if you've submitted and you were in time, people are still getting checks.
And if your claim is in-house, it's just going to take longer.
Okay,
but luckily they're saying that they're still processing.
Okay. So if that's the case, like, if you get a check, if you're waiting and it comes in, like, just be intentional. If anybody has any questions, reach out. We're happy to help you. And that's it. Anything else on this that we missed?
Like I said, I'm just super excited that I've been able to work with you and your team, and they're just amazing people.
Awesome. Well, it's been awesome working with you. Guys, if you haven't connected with her, if you're interested, I'm going to put her contact down in the description below. You are on other platforms too, like Instagram?
Yes.
Anywhere else?
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn as well?
Yeah.
All right, so I'll put all of her contact information down in the description below as well. Go connect with her. I'll have all the submission stuff. It'll just be below. Go down there. And anything,
Awesome.
I'll get her husband, Daryl, puts all the stuff together. And
Great.
I'll have him get me all the stuff. We'll go from there. So,
Yeah.
all right, guys,
Appreciate
hopefully you found value. If you have any questions, you can also comment. I do my best to engage with every single comment. That's it. Until next video, have a blessed, inspirational day. We'll talk soon. See ya.